Criswell, in his book, A Guidebook for Pastors, tells of an ambitious young man who told his pastor he had promised God a tithe of his income. So they prayed for God to bless his career, and at that time he was making $40 per week and tithing $4. Yet in a few years his income increased and he was tithing $500 a week. He called the pastor to see if he could be released from his tithing promise, because for him it was just getting too costly. The pastor replied, "I don't see how you can be released from your promise, but we can ask God to reduce your income to $40 per week. Then you'd have no problem paying this kind of tithe of $4. A person is only as good as their word. This young man made a commitment, not to the pastor, but to God. Tithing here, as we see, is simply just an example, because this type of behavior can be observed in any scenario or any situation where we're asking God for something. How many times do we have a need and we cry out to God to meet that need, making promises to Him and what we call a commitment? Yet in the passing of time, we see this commitment become harder and harder to deal with after God has met the need. Yet God does not take this lightly. He will hold us to this commitment because it's a commitment that we made to Him and it's binding. James tells us in James 5:12, "But above all, brethren, do not swear either by heaven or by earth or any other oath, but let your yes be yes and your no, no, lest you fall into judgment." Let us be people of integrity. Let us be true to our word. If we make a commitment, let's stick to that commitment.